This is the brain era. We have the fastest communication technology in history available to us. We have total connectivity, so we are plugged into everything. Speed and mental sharpness should be our forte, but often it is not. People seem unable to turn work around speedily. They are tired, so their work speed has slipped into a cycle of slow execution. Tired people are rarely creative or enjoy great acuity. Every other firm is the same, so nothing seems out of the norm here. Konnichiwa, and welcome to the Leadership Japan series. I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and much more importantly, you are a student of leadership, highly motivated to be the best in your business field. Today's show is brought to you by the Sales Advantage course. We take you through the complete sales cycle: rapport, interest, solutions, objections, closing. Once you have this training, you are in control of every sales interaction. In-house or public courses, Japanese, English, we've got the whole works there. If you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, maybe we can help you. Contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. How about accessing our 105 years of accumulated wisdom of Dale Carnegie Training? Get our goal-setting blueprint 2.0 free report. We've got a lot of white papers, a lot of guidebooks. We've got the works. It's over at japan.dalecarnegie.com. I do 3 weekly podcasts, and if you have an interest in presentations, I've got the Presentations Japan series on iTunes. If your interest is in sales, then look for the Sales Japan series also on iTunes. Every week, Wednesday, midnight, Tokyo time, I release the latest issue of the Leadership Japan series, so check that out. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is, I'm leaving before you. Osake ni shitsurei itashimasu. In Japan, when you're ready to go home from work or you're finished for the day, you're leaving before other people, you will say that. Osake ni shitsurei itashimasu. I'm leaving before you. Excuse me, I'm leaving before you. Osake ni shitsurei itashimasu. Osake ni shitsurei itashimasu. I'm leaving before you. I'm going now. Osake ni shitsurei itashimasu. This is episode number 196, and we are talking about, hey boss, teach your Japanese staff how to relax. METI, the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, and the peak industry bodies, the Keidanren, the Japan Business Federation, and the Japan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, have launched their Premium Friday campaign, encouraging firms to allow their workers to depart early on the last Friday of each month. Now, approximately 70% of the Japanese economy is based on domestic consumption, and the idea is to give consumers more time to consume, thus stimulating the economy. All good stuff, but there is a deeper problem for companies than just consuming. Parkinson's law that work expands to fill the time available for its completion fits Japan perfectly. The very long hours spent in work in Japan are producing work at a relatively glacial pace. There is surprisingly slow rhythm here in white-collar work. If you want to see work being done at a fast clip, then look at the manufacturers' factories and the construction industry. Big city office workers, though, are a different breed. They spend long hours commuting during the peak times. Why? They need to live far away to have affordable accommodation, and they can't get up any earlier to miss the crowds because they are staying up so late every evening. Now, we have a constant rhythm in operation. Go to bed late, get up without enough sleep, so automatically feel tired, struggle through the morning commute, arrive at the office, exhausted. Leave the office very late every evening. Repeat every working day of your entire miserable working life. This is the brain era. We have the fastest communication technology in history available to us. We have total connectivity, so we are plugged into everything. Speed and mental sharpness should be our forte, but often it is not. People seem unable to turn work around speedily. They are tired, so their work speed has slipped into a cycle of slow execution. Tired people are rarely creative or enjoy great acuity. Every other firm is the same, so nothing seems out of the norm here. If you come from a different country, then you see the speed factor is much slower here. The caution around mistakes does slow down the decision-making process. This and the tiredness slows down the execution. The upshot is things take longer to get done here. Now, they probably get things done here without as much rework due to better attention to detail. Mistakes can be common in our countries. Wouldn't it be brilliant, though, if you could take that Japanese attention to detail and speed everything up a bit and get the best of both worlds? This won't happen by itself. To get better speed, we need to change the pace of work from the current slow state to a faster cycle. Parkinson's study showed that the more time we allow for working, the staff will have no trouble filling up the hours. Japanese societal work pride is attached to input of hours, not speed of output. The issue, though, is the same amount of productivity could be achieved in less hours. If we can get to this point, then people can go home earlier. They can spend time on hobbies, with families and friends, go shopping, go out eating, etc. This would have a lot more impact than a couple of hours once a month on the premium Friday. Having set finishing times which are early is a good idea. For most office workers, why does anyone have to work past 6 p.m. anyway? Making people apply first and justify the need for overtime is also a way to monitor work productivity. You can substantially boost your income by working overtime in Japan, so that is a natural stimulant to working long hours here. You start to put boundaries around how much time is needed to produce the same amount of work. This will positively impact the work pace. On the flip side, though, we need to help our people to relax. Just forcing them into a work hyper-accelerated tube may blow them up unless the lifestyle changes are there to accompany the process. In my observation, Japanese are not much good at relaxing. I'm an Aussie and we're experts at relaxing. Japanese are reluctant to take long vacations still, so they never get that longitudinal benefit of time off. Culturally, they have trouble slowing down. I remember seeing Japanese on holiday in Australia. They don't go swimming or lie on the gorgeous golden beaches and relax. They take a photograph together with everyone flashing the peace sign and with the beach in the background. They then head off to the next location and repeat the same process all day. They get tired, so they sleep on the bus or train and they don't see any of the scenery. They come back to work exhausted from the holiday. We need to encourage them to take more time off to really slow down and relax to recharge. Getting away from work is necessary to think afresh about what you are doing. This simple thing still eludes most Japanese. Taking 2 or 3 weeks off in a row should be seen as a good thing, not some traitorous misdemeanor. While we are at work, though, let's work like legends, punch it out and go home. Just on that point about creativity and work, I remember years and years ago, I had a conversation with a senior Japanese gentleman. He'd been a shorshaman, he'd been working for the Japanese trading companies, and when you get to a certain rank in the company, you become an advisor, and then you join different missions that go on study tours, and you represent on different boards of different industry associations. He was on a mission to a group visited South Africa. And during the course of that visit, he met a South African businessman who was telling him that he took 4 weeks off every year. Well, our Japanese shorshaman, our Japanese trading company executive, nearly fell off his chair when he heard that. He said, in Japan, that's impossible. we take 1 week. To which the South African business said to him, so the level of Japanese business people must be quite low. Well, you can imagine a very proud Japanese executive being told that was just shocking to him. He said, what do you mean? What do you mean? He said, low level. And the guy said, well, you know what? if you want to be creative, if you want to be innovative, you've got to have time off. When you take 4 weeks off, the first week you still got your mind inside the work. You haven't cut it off yet. You haven't relaxed. The second week, you're starting to get into it, starting to relax a little bit. By week 3, you're really forgetting about work, and you're reading things, enjoying things, and you're starting to get a bit itchy. And, the last week, you really want to get back to work. It was a very interesting story that I heard in that conversation. I thought, well, that's true. I don't know whether it takes 4 weeks, but certainly, 1 week is not enough if you really want to disconnect from the everyday. So it struck me that the Japanese system doesn't actually help the innovation process very much by the way they take their holidays. And Premium Friday, good idea, but it's not really going to solve the problem. The bigger problem is, can we get the Japanese to relax when they have a chance to relax? Can we encourage them to have longer holidays so they can have a break from work? And can we get them to be recovered, rested, go to bed a bit earlier, come to work fresher, so they can be innovative? Japanese people can certainly be innovative if they're given the right environment, the right accommodation in terms of how those innovative ideas are brought out through the brainstorming technology we have. It works, we've seen it, but the system per se actually tends to work against them. Anyway, so let's try and have a rethink about work in Japan, productivity in Japan, innovation in Japan, and set ourselves up for success in the future. Have a look at your own company and ask yourself some questions about what you're doing, the way things are being done, and how things can be done better. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series, and we hope you enjoyed today's show, brought to you by the Sales Advantage course. As mentioned, if you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, then maybe we can help you. Contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. We have lots of free reports, white papers, guidebooks, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information, truckload of stuff on our website, japan.dalecarnegie.com. Check out my other podcast, the Presentations Japan series and the Sales Japan series on iTunes. Next session, we're going to be talking about a positive mindset for leaders.